on HR, the new marketing manager. So in mid-1990s, we've had a management guru called Richard Mosley who coined the concept of employer branding, which has absolutely got momentum today, especially in the HR space. So gone are the days wherein we used to look at a vacancy ad in the newspapers and call it a recruitment ad, because the advertisements today in the newspapers have evolved to employer branding. So we have an esteemed panel yet again for discussing this subject, and let me introduce each one of you to them. So towards my left is Mr. Rahul Chaudhary, Associate Professor, IFI and Business School. Then we have Mr. Edwin Moses, Senior VP Oracle. Then we have Shefali Mohapatra, Group Head HR, ACT Broadband. Then we have Mr. Ashish Tawar, University Relations Manager, India, Dell. And then we have Mr. DP Singh, Head of HR, IBM. So why not we start with IBM, because there was a time Oracle or IBM. Because IBM was pretty heavy in the print campaign once upon a time for its recruitment needs. And I would just like, it would be great if you can probably trace the journey of recruitment advertising to today, to what we call popularly as employer brand. So how have you seen the evolution happen over a period of time? And is it a good thing? And how is the process in which the communication has changed? How do people interpret it today?
Okay, so thanks. I'm going to start. So Edwin, no, just an admit of spot. Just to share with this, I mean, why do we really have to advertise? Why doesn't any organization have to advertise? An organization needs to advertise to make known to the general public about its brand, and or if it needs to build a brand, and it needs to reach out to a large section of people, right? And that is why you go ahead and put in an advertisement so that it gets the attention.
So let me ask you this question, Ashish. A lot of organizations actually have a designation called as employer branding manager. So there are all these qualities and attributes like a product or a brand which an employee is actually is serious about selling and letting the job seekers know that, hey, this is what we are made of, why don't you just work with us, irrespective of the position. So the emphasis now is on the brand as a whole as opposed to the position that they are selling for. Why do you think it has become so important today?
Okay, so as DP's already kind of touched upon, the advent of social media, if we actually look at what used to happen 10 years ago, if you were kind of looking out for a new job and you want to find out exactly what the culture of that organization is, you primarily were dependent on a close friend or a family member working in that organization. Today, there are various social media means and there are specialized organizations that help you do that. So the simplest way today for a youngster to do is you just drop a message on your WhatsApp group, your school friend, somebody or the other will check with someone and get back to you. Or you drop in a note on Facebook, there will be hundreds of friends who get back to you. Plus there are sites such as Glassdoor.
Yes.
So you're not dependent on a school friend or somebody on Facebook to come back and tell you, what a particular organization is like. And when we talk about Glassdoor, people leaving you, they can put anonymous posts, and in all probability, nobody will have a reason to write, something which is untrue about an organization. You know that, and that's what you actually need to bring out, whether it is through social media or whatever other campaign it is.
Considering the new role of an HR manager is also to shoulder employer branding responsibilities.
So, if I take a look at it, I think the HR managers have been playing the role of marketing managers for a very long time. Let me explain by giving you my understanding of what marketing is all about. So we have certain products, services, we convert it into a concept, and then we try and sell it to our consumers. And we want the consumers to come back over and over again and repeatedly buy our products or services. And the consumer is going to come back and buy our products and services if they have had a great experience with the product or the service. And if you take a look at it, that is what the HR professionals constantly do in a startup. Because people don't join a brand at that point of time, people join the people who have joined the startup. In a way, the people become the brands at that point of time.
Coming to you, Mr. Edwin, actually play in influencing the decision of a job seeker?
Okay, so I think first I got to set a perspective, right? Among all my esteemed panelists specializing in HR, I run a line of business model. So I consume HR as a very important business partner and a friend. Now, to answer your question, you take it first of all at metaphoric level. If you went back and said these days, when youngsters are getting married, they're looking for a good husband, a good wife, it wouldn't be a very accurate statement to make, because I would have believed that's timeless from the day of caveman. So, you know, this lovely guy called David Ulrich, who ring a bell with a lot of my HR friends, as a Peter Drucker of the HR world, who said it very eloquently. The guy who's interviewing hasn't even read his resume. And he covered it up by saying, tell me something about yourself. One of my early bosses taught me, he said, interview is the best place to get educated. It's the place you can ask questions without the fear of looking ignorant. What's recently the moon and the sun? No problems. Nobody's going to ask you, what do you think it is? Yeah? So my answer to a short question.
So coming back to you, from an academician point of view, what are your views on employer branding?
So first, answering your question, I think as an academician, first thing I would say is that the origin of this employer branding is actually by two persons, is Tim Ambler and Sam Ambler, both of UK, who started this, and probably it has gone a long way forward in just 2 decades. I'm not 100% sure, my industry people are here, they're able to say how far progress we have made about it in India, but definitely in many parts of the world they have made a lot of progress on it.